Ever felt like you're stuck in an endless tunnel with no light in sight? Like you're treading water in a stormy sea, gasping for air but only swallowing more water? That's depression. An unseen battle that many of us fight every day. It's not just feeling a bit down or having a bad day, it's a relentless wave of sadness that washes over you, leaving you feeling trapped, overwhelmed and utterly exhausted. It's a constant struggle, a tug of war with your own mind. The world around you carries on, oblivious to your internal turmoil. But remember, it's not an imaginary ailment, it's real. It's as real as the air we breathe, and it's a serious illness that affects millions around the globe. Depression isn't just about feeling sad. It's about feeling nothing at all, about losing interest in things you once loved. But remember, depression is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you've been strong for far too long. Meet John, a man who once found himself in that very tunnel. John is a lot like you or me. He loves a good cup of coffee in the morning, the smell of freshly cut grass, and the sound of rain on a tin roof. But for a time, John found himself in a place where these simple joys were obscured by a heavy fog of depression. Depression is a formidable adversary. It's like walking through a dense, unending fog where everything is muffled, dulled. For John, this fog turned the world grey. The things he once loved seemed distant and unreachable. His world, once vibrant and full of colour, had faded to shades of grey. It felt as if he were living underwater, detached from the world, the people, the experiences that once brought him joy. But John wasn't alone in his struggle. He reached out, he sought help. He took the first step, acknowledging that he was in a fight he couldn't win alone. And that, folks, was the beginning of his journey back to himself. John started therapy. He learned to understand his feelings rather than fear them. He discovered the power of mindfulness, of living in the moment, of appreciating the here and now. He reconnected with nature, found solace in the simple beauty of a sunrise, the symphony of birds chirping at dawn. He started to exercise not just for physical wellness, but for the mental strength it provided him. And slowly the fog began to lift. The world started to regain its color. The things he loved, they started to matter again. The journey wasn't easy. There were good days and bad. There were moments of doubt and moments of triumph. But through it all, John persevered. He fought, he conquered. John's story is a testament to the strength of the human spirit. It shows that even in the depth of despair, there is hope. So remember, if you find yourself in that tunnel, reach out, seek help, because you, like John, are stronger than you think. You too have the power to overcome. So, what can you do when you find yourself in that dark tunnel? It seems daunting, doesn't it? But even in the deepest darkness, there are ways to find light. One of the first steps you can take is to reach out for professional help. There's no shame in it, and it's a sign of strength to ask for assistance when you need it. Next, don't be afraid to express your feelings. Whether it's to a trusted friend, a family member, or a mental health professional, your words can act as a torch, illuminating your path out of the darkness. Lastly, engage in small activities that bring you joy. It could be as simple as reading a book, taking a walk, or listening to your favorite song. These moments of joy can help you take those small yet crucial steps towards the light. Overcoming depression isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. And it's okay to take your time. Remember, it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to take your time. You're not alone in this. Depression may be a tough adversary, but the human spirit is tougher. A familiar adage that carries the sentiment of countless individuals who have braved the often tempestuous journey through depression. A silent waged within, yet it's a war not without hope of victory. The human spirit, an astounding entity, embodies resilience, tenacity, and remarkable power. It is the unquenchable fire within that persists, even as the surroundings grow increasingly frigid and dreary. It's the internal whisper that encourages persistence when everything else pleads capitulation. Seeking assistance isn't an indication of frailty, rather, it's a declaration of your strength. It's a confession of your humanity, a reminder that solitude isn't synonymous with being alone, and an affirmation that reaching out is not just acceptable, but also essential. Often it's within these instances of vulnerability that we discover our mightiest fortitudes. Conquering depression is not about hastily moving on. Instead, it demands navigating through the challenging terrain, gleaning valuable lessons, and emerging on the other side with renewed vigor. It insists on recognizing that despite the overwhelming darkness, there is always a beacon of hope. Remember, no matter how deep the darkness, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, and that light is you.